I was born with a silver spoon in my hand, yet I couldn't feed myself. By the time I
Hey everybody,
was
welcome back to
17,
Artist Talk on Art and Spirit. I am so excited today. I get to introduce you to my friends, Bobby, Daye and Monica Patton. We're going to talk about their new musical, Love and Southern Discomfort. I'm excited. Now, to get more information about Love and Southern Discomfort, log on to lasdmusical.com. And there you can see clips from their virtual release party held last week, hosted by the one and only Brenda Braxton. Purchase some of the music and check out the rest of the cast and the director, the amazing Tamara, Tunie, and everyone else. Everybody associated with this is amazing. So come on, let's go talk to Bobby.
Hey, hello, Angela.
Hi, family. How are you?
Very well. How are you, love?
I'm good. How have you been through the quarantining and pandemic and the election and all that? How have you guys been holding up?
Monica, you want to go first?
We have been working non-stop, and I think that is how we are keeping sane.
5 years ago, I ended up. I was in the first national tour of Book of Mormon. Came back here and did After Midnight. When After Midnight closed, I joined the second national tour with Monica, and that's when we met. And we're surprised that we'd never met before because we had everybody in common that we knew. And Monica had mentioned that she had written a story that she said, I wrote this book, but I think it could be a musical. I'm not sure. So, I was like, well, let me see the outline. And she gave me this outline. And within a week we had 3 songs and we were on our way and rolling.
Within a week?
Yeah, a week and 3 cocktails, basically.
I try to work fast.
And he came back and he was like, I have 3 songs, and they were just going. I think, what was I thinking?
That was the first song. What was I thinking?
That was the first song that you wrote, and for our, Star to Be Femme Fatale role. But it was just, we just started Zooming. And what was great is that we had this captive cast of the Book of Mormon. Shout out to the Book of Mormon, because they helped us develop the show, because every time we did a reading, we had a ready cast right there. So it was a wonderful incubation for the show. And we grew from readings to stage readings. We because we were developing on the road, we had to develop a way to develop the show, kind of still using the same technique of how you incubate a show. But considering our circumstance, we ended up doing, instead of workshops, we developed the concert series. And so we did a concert in Denver, grew from that, did a series of concerts in Chicago. That's when we brought on Felicia Fields, and Mama helped us.
Everybody wanna stir my pot. Step back when the stove is hot. Everybody wanna stir my pot and ruin everything I got.
So it's just been this grassroots effort of friends and family and audience members giving their feedback. And so, our show is about a family, and it has grown as a family. You know what I mean? Yeah. Including you having us on. You are part of the family. You know what I mean? So it's just been a wonderful way to grow. It really has.
Oh, I can imagine the cast of Book of Mormon had so much fun because you guys used them in the readings.
Yes.
Oh, there's nothing better than that. Because when it happens, when we see it in production, everybody's going to have ownership. We're all going to feel like, oh, that's my part. And I was there when this happened.
When I look back at certain things, even in the songs, when I would write them, I had maybe something going on in the melody, but then I would use somebody and they would do one little thing here, and I'm like, oh, well, that stays there. And then, it grows like that, Yeah.
We had a staged reading in LA, and we had the cast of the Book of Mormon and Aladdin. Man, it
combined,
was just,
yes.
Synergy was so good. You know what I mean? It was just, just too different. It was just so good.
But also we had ML Woolley Roz
did.
Ryan and Yvette Kassan up there too.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we did. And it grew from leaps and bounds. Like when I think about our draft that we did then, and like to right now, it just. I mean, you need. I'm sorry, I'm spoiled. You need the pros to help you grow. Okay, I'm sorry. It was nice that Bobby and I started this process where we're at right now in our life, and we've been able to say, use our friends, you call on our social capital and be like, hey, we're really serious about this. Can you help us? And it really always is like, yes, let me do my best. Let me see what I can do to help this process. And again, it's just been very supportive and loving. I mean, our community has come out
They
for
have.
us.
So this time now where Broadway is shut down, theater in general for the most part is shut down, and you doing a musical. So
Yes.
so what are your hopes for it? What are your dreams for it?
Well, we realize that the whole terrain is changing now. Right now Broadway doesn't know when it's going to open up. They're saying now May, but that may even push back again because it's already pushed back twice. And we're seeing that a lot of things, it's starting to be like it used to be before, where musicals started as films and then went onto the stage. So
Mhm.
we're dabbling.
Say this way, we have our hands and we have a lot of pots on the stove that are cooking and boiling and we are very busy and we're looking at the whole terrain and we have again a lot of wonderful, supportive, informed individuals helping us along the
It's
way.
just like what the Wiz did way back when. The Wiz put that album together first, and they had that music out before it even hit the stage. So we're going back to really old school now. We're going back to what it used to be. Get the music out, get people interested in music, make sure that music is radio play so people will get interested in it, and then see what the other avenues will reach out and see. I mean, these songs that we have now, Liquid Courage, which is already released with Ramona Keller. I
With
mean,
the
she's
great and beautiful Ramona Keller.
killing it, killing it. Oh
You
my
know what?
God.
Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Need a little liquid courage and I'll be just fine. Take me high to my mind, not mine. Don't try to build me up while you're breaking me down. Can't you see that I'm broken? All my pieces scattered all around. Somebody take my hand, help me learn who I am, who I am. Straight enough, never enough for your world of make believe.
That was wow.
Okay. I mean,
know.
how lucky were we? And to watch her work in the studio, because she's not only a stage performer, she knows that studio so well. So
Yeah.
we were very, very fortunate, very lucky.
Absolutely.
And just
Again, ownership. I mean, whether Ramona is in your production or your film or not, she's gonna have that ownership of singing that song, and she blows it out of the park.
oh,
I know.
she just connects. She just connects with you, and I always like to tell people, like, because that song is written with pain, and so the way she connects with it, I always tell people, if you can't say it, let Ramona Keller say it for you in that song. You know what I mean? Everyone has that. Everyone has that moment where they feel like they're not enough. We all go through that.
Yeah.
If you can't say it, just put on Liquid Courage and let Ramona say it for you, and have you good cry in the shower. So
What does that feel like as a writer, though, to write a song and then watch somebody just bring it to life in a way that maybe you imagined, maybe you didn't? But what is that like?
That is always, for me, I can only speak for myself, that is always the dream for me, because I would tell Monica, even in the process of writing the songs, sometimes, I did all the demos myself, but I am not a person who wants to hear my demo recreated. I want to hear what other life another person brings to it. And I know there were times that, Monica would say, or somebody would say, well, I don't hear this, but I would hear that in the arrangement in my head already. And I just knew the right singer, if I would communicate with them, would do that as well. Because one thing I try to do with all of these songs, I said every song don't even look at it as a song, look at it as a conversation. Because I want it to be a real honest conversation. I don't care about, what notes you can flourish. I want to feel what you're singing. And once a singer can connect with something with that, like that, it makes it all just beautiful to me. I mean, it should be the honest feeling. I was fortunate enough that Monica wrote these scenes that would lead into these songs that would emotionally tell me where to go and what to do, what this woman was feeling, what this man is feeling, what this couple is feeling. And that's what I would have to go with. And so it wasn't even about writing a style, it was about writing the emotion.
seeing Bobby and Ramona in the studio, and we know, everyone knows, the woman has pipes. But what was so great is that there was a moment that in the beginning that Bobby was like, the beginning is really not about singing. It's really a confession. I mean, the lyrics is, I've been right, I've been wronged, and it's really like so raw. And to see Ramona just like plug into what he said.
As an actress, yeah.
Just get that. The beginning is so vulnerable, and then just to let it grow and sing into that like hallelujah moment. It was just so great to witness it in the studio. Just to see the two masters at work.
Yeah. And let's talk about Memory Lane.
Ooh, yes. Nikki M. James and Anthony Wayne, together.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, this for me, I wanted it to kind of be a love letter to HBCUs in a way, because that's the feel I wanted. I wanted when they're out on the streets of New Orleans, and I wanted them to have that beat under them. That's what I want. I wanted it to be the art that I feel we have created as a people. That is an art that we authentically created, and that sound is something that we created. And I wanted that to be what, when Mila was coming back to her home, and Leland is reminding her of what she left, I wanted him to get her back in sync with her life, with her beat, with her heart.
It's like the city, the sounds from the city and the people and the memories are like seducing her to be like, home's not that bad, come on back, remember we used to do this. And so it's a nice playful romp. And I think Nikki and Anthony just,
they nailed it.
They nailed it. They nailed it. Check this out, y'all.
You know what we should do?
No, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
We should steal some candy.
You're ridiculous.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Can I get you anything else, sir?
The check, please.
Where are you you going?
Where are we?
All right, where are we going?
Down memory lane. I want you to see what you left behind. Leela Gabrielle, let me show you around. Let me show you everything you missed. Morning, Leela. You're the new news, you're the talk of the town. You're the one on everybody's lips.
Is that where the minute starts?
Girl, did you see you're a mystery? Everybody wants to know the truth. To be who you are, did you travel far? Can we trace it back to your roots? I want to take a walk down memory lane. Sir, yes, you forgot your credit card. It feels so good to walk down memory lane.
Railings, toffee, hot out the kitchen.
Tell me, Leland Maximilian, why you never tried to get away? In my eyes, you were such a prize, like a rare fine Chardonnay.
A rose for your rose.
I'm the girl who likes to see the world and not live in the same routine. Don't get me wrong, but I don't belong, and I'm really not being mean. But don't want to take a walk down memory lane.
Come on, give me a chance to change your mind.
It won't feel good to walk down memory lane. I don't know about this.
Let go, Mila. Let's be young again. What do you want? Jawbreakers, Twizzlers, Raisinets. Think about the time that we could have had and you never tried to get away. Nothing in the world is beyond our grasp. You and me could be royalty.
Don't you see this is hard for me? I really miss it, but I don't regret. I ran away true, now it's deja vu. I remember what I tried to forget.
Come on and take a walk down memory lane.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Come on, come on.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, I'll take a walk down memory lane.
Come on, take my hand and let me be a man.
Trust in you, trust in you.
Trust me, baby. Oh, walk down memory lane.
All right, yep, they did nail it. They're just amazing. Anyway, you got some really good people on this.
Yeah. I mean, it's something when you have lived as long as we have lived. You're looking at Rolodex and you go, oh wow, I didn't know I knew this. I got this person. You know, you start going down that Rolodex and say, okay, I did not burn that bridge. Let me give this person.
Right.
Now, neither one of you burning no bridges.
No.
But on top of all of that, and everything is amazing, you got Tamara Tunie. Now, how did that come about? I know, right? Tamara, we love you. We love you. How did that come about?
Oh God, you know what? It was meant to be and serendipitous all at the same time. When we were probably 3 developments back, we had approached Miss Tunie, but circumstances prevented her. But she would always check in with us. Hey guys, how's it going? And so she's always kind of been there. And then it seems like the circumstance was right. And we had kind of like sent her an email saying, hey, just to let you know, this is where we're at. What's been going on? Would you be interested? I don't think like 30 minutes went by and she was like, yes. And it's just been wonderful. Again, she's like mama, the mother earth, you know, of the whole process. And she is spot on. We've already gone through 2 revision passes with her, and her insight, the clarity, it's meant to be. We work very, very well together, all 3 of us, and we just had a great pass, and it was wonderful. So we can't wait for you guys to see this show. I mean, everyone's going to walk away from it saying, yep, that's my family.
But how was it born, Monica? What was it born out of?
Well, it was born out of my family. You know, my mother is from Logansport, Louisiana, which used to be Keachai, and she grew up. We're of the Sampson and the Thomas clan, and so we have land on both sides of the family. Sampson, we still have about 88 acres, and so my mom kind of grew up in the segregated South, but she has very like idyllic moments because although they may not have been rich, they were land rich. So the, they went into town when they needed to purchase something that they didn't grow. You know what I mean? So she just, most of the time, she was running around barefoot, helping out her, parents, her Aunt Lily and all that, and just living a nice, safe life in the segregated South. And then every once in a while, she'd go into town, with Uncle Bo Weevil, and then she'd go through the back door of the general store, and she just never understood why. Why? And I just thought, wow, what's like the dichotomy of that? And so when I was young, we used to go back pretty much every summer until I was about 18. And, like, this is where I grew up. This is my granddad's old house, and there's a tree going through it. I was like, y'all just walked away from the house? She was like, yeah, it's on our land. And so it was just so crazy, but beautiful. And I remember going over my Aunt Isaphine, and she had a wood-burning stove, and she would make sweet pickles, and she, passed away, God rest her soul, at 113 years old. You know what I mean? Just like that nice, clean country air. And so I just kind of took all those stories and made the story.
Why do you think the time is now for love and Southern discomfort?
Well, I think some of the themes that we spotlight, which is addiction, mental instabilities, we talk about some things that are still stigmatized in the African American community, and also we're culturally going through this, revolution. And why should Broadway be spared? You know what I mean? I think that yes, it's a story of an African American family, an affluent African American family, and it's a unique slice of Black American life that is rarely shown. And I mean, other than like August Wilson or Lorraine Hansberry, there's not a lot of stories about the Black family and the things that we go through and the ties that bind and the estrangement and the strain and the problems and the issues, even if you have money. You know what I mean? We don't get to see that a lot. And so Bobby and I want to change that.
Yeah, and also another thing that really drew me to this was the idea it's 3 generations of Black women in a family. So you have women of a certain age and 3 different generations on stage telling their story. So, that was really important. That's why it was important to have an African American female director, someone who could, who knew this story in her bones, mm-hmm. And that's what really drew me to it. I wanted to be able to write for those voices musically.
You both are extraordinary actors, singers. You've been in the business for a long time. You've had great careers. Is this an addition to your careers or a transition?
For me, it's a little of both. It's an addition and a transition. I've been writing music for a long time. I mean, I go all the way back to writing the theme song to the soap opera Loving in the late, we know when that was.
If you should start to fall, my arms are here to catch you.
you know, with Johnny Mathis singing that song. And I've been writing for commercials, and I've dabbled in writing musicals with people, but it never really clicked. This is the first time that an actual musical has clicked with me with this story. It's the first time that it has clicked fully, that I could, you know, really go from the beginning to the end and feel like I could contribute something to it.
Wow. Monica?
That's conflict over cocktails. This is actually, I'm gonna say it, and this is a very scary moment, but actually, this is a transition for me. I loved performing, but the reason why I stayed in the Book of Mormon for as long as I did, because I kind of knew it was going to be my last show. I get so much joy writing, producing, directing, putting it all up, taking it all down, you know, just the whole aspect of it. I myself am back in college um, for public relations. And so I just like to write. And so that's what I want to do for the remainder of my time here on there.
Monica, that made me a little sad. I mean,
Come on.
got a little. but I totally love and respect how you planned it and how you were very intentional about it all. But I just got like, no, Monica on stage singing? What?
Yeah. The joy I receive from creating, I think it supersedes performing now. So
Yeah.
I should step aside.
Because writing, you are really creating more so than when you are performing someone else's work, even though we are creating, we're crafting characters and all of that. But this is, you really are creating it.
Yeah, and I mean, in my own way, I'm acting like when I'm working on a scene, I have to put myself in the mindset of the character, even in the voice. And it's so funny. My daughter, who is a teen now, she's 17, and but she used to come by and she's like, "Mommy, are you okay? You're crying." I'm like, "Oh no, sweetie, I'm just working on a scene, but I have to go there as the character, you know." And especially in Love and Some of the Discomfort, the character Wilhelmina, she really hit some low moments in the show. So there was a lot of crying writing her. Yeah.
And there's a whole other satisfaction about writing for people, because I know, and I don't know if Monica's had this question, but people are like, well, are you going to be in it? I'm like, I would not want to be in something that I wrote, because I want to step back and I can't objectively step back and see it. I want to appreciate seeing somebody else's voice bring it to life, you know? So, I mean, I haven't given up on acting and everything. I'm still out there.
You better
But
not.
but I, you know, writing has always been there for me. You know, I write every day as a journal, you know, whether it's a good song or a bad song, I have to write something every day.
Yeah. You've been writing ever since I've known you. So, full disclosure, everybody, these two beautiful people I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with, Bobby Daye in The Color Purple, and another show that never got its due called Everything's Ducky. And Bobby, we got to interview Danny on Artist Talk.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even say, dude, I love that man too.
I know, me too.
You know, Danny Burstein is the only person, he talked me into skinny dipping while we were out there doing that show.
No.
Hotel. I have never skinny dipped.
You guys skinny dipped at the hotel and I didn't know about it?
Yes. We just went out there. Yeah.
The secret is out. The secret is out. And Monica and I did Dreamgirls together at the Paper Mill Playhouse. Shout out to Paper Mill, Mark Hovey. And Monica was on stage when Scott proposed to me at the Paper Mill. But, you know, that was early on. Color Purple wasn't so early on, but Dreamgirls was early on. And I got to witness these two people just soar. Bobby Daye is very involved with Just One Step for Democracy. He's written a new single that's out now that you have to hear. Also, I interviewed the board members for Just One Step, so go and watch that as well. But Bobby, that's been some great work that you're doing with that organization.
I tell you, Arnisha and Stephen, when they put together something wonderful for artists to get out there and help people get motivated to vote. And they broke us up into groups, and I was in the group with Sylvia McCalla and Yvette Kassan. We were the creative group, and I remember the first meeting we had. The three of us were writing a song as we were talking to them on the Zoom meeting. As soon as we hung up, we got together and wrote this song called This Voice, which, I think is a very powerful song, that the three of us put together. And then I ended up doing For America. But it is about getting people out there and excited and motivated and passionate to get your voice out and vote. Yeah.
So I read where Love and Southern Discomfort started out as a film script. Is that right?
It did actually. It did. And the way I write, it's very cinematic. And so the way I write, even the present script is very more leans towards a film. So I think when I was writing, I had several mediums that I was thinking of. So I just kind of kept it in that nice, safe middle space.
so it can do all of it.
Listen, fortunately, she's been modest. Monica doesn't do anything half-step, and she has a script that is for the stage, and she has a script that is for the film.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it.
So it would be a musical movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I miss them so much.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like Bobby said, we're going old school.
That's what made me want to get into the theater, musical movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually a musical that is not going to just be fluff, that is going to actually tell a real story too.
A real story. Yeah.
How can we support Love and Southern Discomfort? Are you going to do some more crowdfunding? How can we support?
Absolutely. Monica, you want to take that?
We are going to get the word out with the music and get everyone invested musically. And subscribe, follow us, like us, stay in touch, because we do have some things coming up. And what we need is support of like family members, so reach out, give us a, hey, I like this, like I said, like and follow us and subscribe. The more people that are in our family, then the more that we can celebrate.
Go to our website too.
Go to our website, lasdmusical.com, lasdmusical.com, very simple. And we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram, Love and Southern Discomfort, at Love and Southern Discomfort on Instagram, but lasdmusical.com. And but no, thank you so much for that, Angela. We are working very hard, and we have been blessed, and we continue to be blessed. And so we accept all that the energy has to offer. So plenty, but yes.
And just the fact that someone like you also gives us a platform like this, Angela. Mm-hmm. This means so much, because people, will be watching this. People listen to you. People watch you, and hopefully they are looking at this and going, this is something I want to be interested in. You've helped many, many people with the show throughout. I've watched many of your cast, your podcasts of it. I guess, would you call this a podcast or a series?
You're prophetic. Yeah. It's going that way.
And this is what it is. You have really boosted a community with this. You really have, and we appreciate that you gave us this opportunity.
Oh, I would not have it any other way. So you guys do all those things. I will list their social media and anything else they're doing. I'll be posting about it because I'm excited. This channel, this YouTube channel, is called Art and Spirit. And I started it really because I've always been inspired by people's stories. What advice do you have for artists today, um, who was on tour and their show got shut down, or was on Broadway, their show got shut down, or that regional theater worker locally who just doesn't have any work anymore? What advice would you have for them about staying creative during this time? Bobby first.
My advice would be for the artists. I would say we are artists, and our whole being is about creating, and that also means creating work, but not also creating work, but creating peace of mind. I get peace of mind when I'm at home, whether somebody's going to hear my music or not. It gives me peace of mind. It centers me so that I can focus on what I need to do. It's hard in these times because where do you go to? People have to eat. People have to pay their rent, their mortgage. Where do you go to get this done? Sometimes that answer has to come from within, and it has to come from a stillness. And the art is my meditation for creating. I mean, for like any crew members, I mean, I say stay in contact with everybody that you know in the arts, because you can all think of something together. We started off when this all happened. Monica and I, we were a little bit ahead of the chain, because we were already talking about doing a 29-hour reading, but we were talking about doing it in a socially distanced way. We even approached Equity about it, but they weren't ready for that yet. And so, but we got that by talking to each other and talking to other people, and making sure that you stay connected to the community. That's my advice.
Now, Monica.
No, I have to piggyback. I think that from a realistic perspective, you have to take stock of all your gifts, everything that you do, artistically, creatively, manually. Take stock of what you do, and so you can pull from that resource in order to feed you. You know what I mean? Feed yourself. And also stay connected to the community, because we can't do this all by ourselves. We need help. So stay connected to your family, your friends, even if the tether is long, just stay connected. You never know when you're going to need help or guidance. And for me, being on this transitional journey, I've been connecting with other women entrepreneurs and other boss ladies, and now being a student, living at that discount student life, and add that on my discount as my ARP.
Yes.
So it's just been a very interesting journey, but I think I just want to piggyback off of, you just can't do it by yourself. You can't.
Somebody out there that wants to be a writer, what's the first thing they should do?
The first thing that you should do is listen to your voice and keep writing. I was fortunate when I started Dreamgirls. I had already been, writing for a while, and that's when a little thing called the Fostex four track had come out. And between scenes, when I wasn't on stage, I was in a corner just recording and writing music. And I remember Cheryl Lee Ralph would come by, and she would want to, she said, "Let me listen to some of your music." And not, I'm just, oh, okay, here, and I'm letting her listen to it. The next thing I knew, because you put yourself out there, she was the first person to actually record one of my songs on her album, In the Evening. I had a song called Floating with the Tide. And she took me under her wing, and she made sure that that song got not only on her album, but also on a television show that she did. And because of her, and because of Clea Von Derrick's coming to me and saying, "Don't ever stop writing," I look at my time in Dreamgirls as being in a university. I mean, because you don't learn that type of stuff in a school. I learned under the tutelage of Loretta Devine, Bondi Curtis Hall, Ben Harney, Shirley Ralph, everybody that was in that theater. Keep your ears open, keep your eyes open, and believe in yourself as well. Graciela Simpson told me, always know your own self-worth. And that's something that always stuck with me. I can take criticism, but I know my own self-worth as well. And you can't do it alone. I was very fortunate, but just keep your eyes and ears open.
Wow, it seems like this is the same thing that happened with you. You paid it forward. Monica was writing. She said, "I have something." You read it. And you did what Cheryl Lee did for you.
Yes, you just continue. You forge those relationships, because you don't know where it's going to take you. If you cut yourself off, then you have done yourself a disservice.
Monica, what do you say? Somebody wants to be a writer. They want to write a play. What should they do?
Write every day. Write. And take some courses. Look, not everyone can afford to go back to college, but you know what? There's so much knowledge out there from Google University and Coursera and online courses. I think even TV writers are having masterclass. You take your budget, you do what you can do, and just go forth and learn and just write every day. Every day, write something. Even if it's a list, write it.
And, we wish you guys all the best. We cannot wait to see what happens with Love and Southern Discomfort. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Mwah. Mwah. Thank you, Bobby and Monica, for coming and sharing this beautiful story, this beautiful music on Art and Spirit. Everybody go to their website, lasdmusical.com, download the singles and keep up with them. Find out how you can support them in bringing love and Southern discomfort to the stage and to the big screen. All right, everybody, go support these artists. And Monica and Bobby, thank you for the beautiful music.
What I wouldn't do to make you mine.
I realize you've always been with me. You're my peace of mind. Deep inside, I always knew how I felt for you. Can this be true?
Go by, I wondered why I chose to hide my love.
It suddenly sinks in that suddenly has always been.
All I know is suddenly I need you so, and from this moment on, I won't let you go. I love you suddenly.